This is your life. This is Weymouth on the Dorset coast, and tonight we're attempting something we never attempted before. The man I'm after is the coxswain of the lifeboat, a man of great courage who over 30 years has rescued some 300 people off the notorious Portlandville coastline out there. Now, he thinks he's my co-conspirator tonight to help me surprise another brave man, his second in command, who in fact himself quite recently received an award for bravery, but who is in on my secret. Now, the coxswain, the man I'm after, is so convinced it is his second in command, he's already made a film tribute to him. And I'm going to let you see that now, so that for the first time on This Is Your Life, you'll see our guest of honor talking about the person whose story he thinks is in this.
Hello, Eamon. Hello, Vic. Well, what a great surprise, isn't it? You know where I'm sat now. I'm sat at the wheel of the Weymouth lifeboat, Tony Vanderbilt. You and I have had some good do's together out here in this boat, and I must say how much I congratulate you on that medal you won. I think you've done a great job that night in the seas that was there, and you know as well as I do now that when you sit in this chair at the helm of this boat, and you've got yourself and the crew and the people you're trying to rescue to worry about, you feel the loneliest man in the world.
Well, now, let's see what happens when he discovers that it's really his name that's on this book. Now, they're all just leaving the lifeboat now, so here we go, I think.
What's happening here? Right. Get ready for a journey. Who's going in there? No, that's me. You must be. Come on, boy. Give it to her. Steady. Rolly. We're there. Hey, up together, boys. Right, wait here then, Charlie. Come on. All right?
Yeah, lovely job.
Right.
Okay, yeah.
Hello, Alf Pavey, coxswain,
Hello, Eamon.
and recent award-winning medal winner Vic Pittman, and all members of the Weymouth crew. Now, Alf, you know whose name is on this book, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Now, would you mind just tearing it off and reading it out loud for us? Let's give it a good rip.
Good rip. Oh, no!
Well, thank you, Vic. Thank you, boys, for helping us pull that switch so that I could say just that.
How could you let him do it to me, Bertie?
Good luck to you.
You couldn't. Oh, how could you let him do it to me? And you, Charlie.
I didn't know nothing.
I've been led like
Charlie's
a lamb to the slaughter.
Hey,
Carl,
Charlie's
bloody
angels now.
It's really true, Alf.
No,
Pavey, tonight.
no.
This is your life.
Oh, no.
What a big Charlie's angels now. Come on.
And I'll tell you this, just down the coast a bit to Southampton, we have a studio that you'll find will not be the loneliest place in the world.
Oh,
And right away, my special thanks to your crew, including your brother Eric, and to Vic Pittman there, whose story you thought we were going to tell. That shout of yours must have been heard in Penzance when I threw the book at you. But Vic's medal, of course, was won when the Weymouth lifeboat saved 8 people from a sinking yacht, including the daughter of actress Moira Lister, Chantal D'Orthez, who's in your audience. Chantal, I know you and those 7 friends will never forget the Weymouth lifeboat.
No, never. Thank you for saving our lives, and also for the hundreds of other people who throughout the years Alf Pavey and his crew have saved the lives of as well.
Well, Alf Pavey, this is your life, and in the 30 years you've been with the Weymouth lifeboat, you've turned out in more than 400 emergencies and saved nearly 300 lives. Many of those dramatic rescues have taken place at night, and there's someone here tonight who's had a hand in nearly every one.
That's because I've had to dig him in the ribs to tell him the phone's ringing.
The girl you married 27 years ago, your wife, Joan. So, Joan, Alf's life of constant danger doesn't prevent him getting a good night's sleep.
No, it doesn't. I'm usually the first one to hear the phone ringing, and I wake him up, and then he gets dressed, and I phone the crew.
Well, now, Joan, during Alf's early years with the lifeboat, you and your two children had a special way of trying to keep in touch with what was going on with the boat out at sea, hadn't you?
Yes, we had. That was thanks to Alf's brother, Eric.
And this week, Alf, unknown to you, when you were radioing from ship to shore, your daughter Linda and sailor son Terry showed us what used to happen when they were little children.
Portland Coast Guard, this is Weymouth Lifeboat, you read me, please.
Well, Dad, remember when Uncle Eric brought this big old radio and said, "This'll pick the boat up all right"?
And whenever you were out on the boat, Mum used to turn the television off and we'd tune into this wavelength. Just listen.
We are proceeding our position now, 1 mile east of Grove Point, ETA, approximately 20 minutes. Did you get that, Portland? Over.
Well, the reception wasn't all that good.
And when we were kids, Terry and myself used to call this the crackle. And when you were out for 3 whole days, Mum wouldn't turn it off at all. Have a nice night, Dad.
Yes, have a great time, enjoy yourself.
And here to enjoy it with you, your daughter Linda, and on special leave from the Royal Navy, your son, leading seaman Craig. Now, Terry, when you were children, it wasn't always with the lifeboat that your dad went to sea.
Years ago, when Dad was fishing, he used to make his net store in the winter in Linda's bedroom, and used to end up down the stairs. And she, consequently, she couldn't move in her bedroom, but he was still there sewing away.
And when he brought the fish home, do you remember, Dad? We used to have to sell them on the doorstep. 3 for the small ones and 6 for the big ones.
Well, Alf Pavey, this is your life. And Eric Pavey, your brother here, who was to live to save so many lives, almost died in childhood, right?
Yes, that's right, Eamon. When Alf was 10 years old, he had an appendicitis operation, which led to peritonitis. The doctor said that he was at death's door, but he had the will to survive, and he did survive.
Well, many have reason to be grateful you did, but the survival of a lone yachtsman one night in February 5 years ago seemed very much in doubt. Badly injured, he clung to his damaged craft in the mountainous seas, lashed by a force 9 gale, 10 miles off Portland Bill. A ship sees his distress flare, and a signal is flashed to shore.
To warn you, Alf, that the conditions for rescue were near impossible.
The captain of the German ship Wotan, the man who signaled the warning that night, we've flown him from Hamburg, Walter Mayer. Walter, you tell us, please, what happened next.
Yeah, Alf got that night that signal from me, and he knew about the bad weather and the high sea outside, and he couldn't get that distance short on his radar.
That's right, yes.
So I mentioned it, and I've been very much higher in the water, so I get a distance, the yacht on my radar, and Alf followed me outside Portland Bill to the yacht, and miraculously he got alongside this distress yacht.
Certainly sounds like a miraculous piece of seamanship to me.
And nobody thought it more miraculous than me.
The badly injured lone yachtsman you saved that night, Derek Crisp.
Oh. Nice to see you.
Derek, Alf and his crew set out to rescue in their former boat, the Frank Spiller Lock. Tell us what happened.
Well, I was trying to qualify for the solo transatlantic race, and to do this I had to do 500 miles west of Eddiston. I got 10 miles off of Portland Bill, and the force 9 sprang up. My sails blew out. I got blown, or at least I fell against one of the winch handles and smashed my ribs. I was virtually helpless and couldn't move. There were great seas battering over the boat, and I just do not understand how Alf got the lifeboat alongside of me so that Doc Parkinson and Bert Legg were able to jump aboard me and get me safely back. Without their miraculous seamanship, it would have been impossible.
Thank you, Derek Crisp and Walter Mayer. And for that feat of seamanship, you were awarded the RNLI Bronze Medal, an award of which your late father and your grandfather, both members of the Weymouth lifeboat, would have been proud. But there were other members of your family very proud that day, and they're here tonight. Your sister, Mrs. Pat Palmer, and your other brothers. Bill, Harry.
I ain't seen you for months ago. Where you been? Hello, Arthur.
Now, Alf, you were born a fisherman's son in a quiet place, Weymouth, on 2nd of June, 1926. When you were 7, your family moved to a house next door to the lifeboat station. Now, Harry, you're his elder brother, and as a child in the 30s, times were often hard.
They certainly were, Eamon. When we were children, when the Jersey boats came to Weymouth Harbour with the spuds, we used to grab the baskets, go down on the quay, wait for them to unload the boats, and as they were putting the potatoes in the trucks, we used to dive under the trucks to get the potatoes that fell on the floor. Well, that was all right till we came out a policeman. Alfred dived between his legs, was gone. We were summoned. We goes home, Alfred wasn't home. Come in sometime during the afternoon, beaming all over his face and laughing. But we had the last laugh. He had the good hiding for losing the basket. They were worth £5 in them days.
The basket was worth £5, was it?
It was worth £5 in them days.
Alf, I said you were born in a quiet place. Of course, the name of the place is Quiet
Place.
But you go to school at St. Mary's Infants, then on to Melcombe Regis Junior School. And there, before the serious illness we've heard about, you shine at athletics, football, and at boxing. You're just 9 years old when you're matched against your best pal. You both pull on the gloves, but best pals though you are, neither of you pulls his punches.
And I reckon we must have created boxing history.
Your opponent from that school boxing match 44 years ago, Dan Taylor.
Oh, nice to see you. See what you got to come here.
Boxing history, Dan, tell us about it.
He made me nosebleed. We had a small squabble about a game of marbles, Eamon, and our schoolmaster decided that the best way to settle this squabble was in the ring. It was the sort of thing where the boys all gathered round in the hall, and it was a purely impromptu thing. We boxed like hell for 2 rounds, knocked each other to pieces, and at the end of 2 rounds we were absolutely exhausted and unable to move almost, and the referee, who was also the master, decided to call it a draw, and we've been the best of pals ever since, and never got a cost for it.
Thank you, Dan Taylor. Until you're 14, you go to the Central School in Cromwell Road, Weymouth, and when you leave, your first job is at a printer's, but it's a job at sea you really want. And the chance comes in the early years of the war when a local firm employs you as an engineer on boats taking ships' pilots out to American convoys to guide them through the heavily mined bay.
And that's when Alf experienced his first shipwreck.
Son of the man who gave you your first seagoing job and who sailed with you on the pilot boats in 1943, Joe Basso. So Alf himself was shipwrecked.
Yes, he was indeed. He was on this boat going out to the taking a convoy of taking out a load of pilots to a convoy of American ships coming in, but they didn't anticipate the small landing craft that wasn't taking a good look out, and they were rammed midships, which put the steering gear out of action, and the boat took a wide arc in the bay and come back and finished up on the breakwater.